Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm, of course, your host, Droodles, Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be playing in the M60. This is a Tier 10 American Premium Medium Tank. It's a vehicle that's been in the game for an incredibly long time, and nobody still knows how it was first given out. I remember waking up like a day before Christmas, and I got a notification that said, "Congratulations, you have received the free tank," and that was literally it. I had no reasoning to why the M60 was put in my garage. A lot of people speculate it had to do with money. If you spent a lot of money, you got it. But I also know people that have told me they've spent literally $10 and they still managed to get their hands on the tank. So I have no clue how Wargaming did it. They're probably never going to tell us, but oh well. We're going to be talking about the M60, which is fairly cheap in the stores. Right now, there's a $10 crate. I already purchased it because either way I'm getting 5,000 gold out of it. But as you can read, the $10 crate has a 20% drop chance for the M60, or an 80% drop chance for 5,000 gold. So 20%'s not bad. It's definitely better than the 4% for vehicles like the Object 268 version 4, the Object 752, or even a lot of tier 8s that are about to be entering crates in the future. So I would say that this is not a bad crate, especially for $10. You're getting almost double your base gold value. You're normally getting like 2,500 gold for $10. So let's see what we get out of this crate. There you go. 5,000 gold, which isn't bad at all. I'll take 5,000 gold for $10. That'll sit in my garage and I'll save it for the next crates that come into the game. So what are the differences between the M60 and the M48 Patton? Well, I would say the main difference is the armor. The M60, as you'll notice, has a flat upper plate. Like, it's slightly angled, but it's a pretty flat plate. And if we compare that to the Patton that has this big rounded hump on the front, they are quite different. On the M60, if you're using it hull down and you're able to hide your lower plate, your upper plate is incredibly strong. In fact, just on base armor, the upper plate's almost the same thickness as a WZ-113. That's pretty impressive. The turret cheeks as well on this vehicle are better than the M48 Patton. In total, the turret cheeks are around 20 millimeters thicker than the M48 Pattons. But don't let that fool you. It's not like this tank is impervious. Sure, you might bounce a couple standard shells here and there, but when it comes to anybody loading premium on your turret, as long as they hit your cheeks directly, you're most likely going to be penetrated even with that extra armor. You've also got hatches on the roof of it. What I always like to say about the Pattons is they're very strong as long as you want to poke, get a quick snap out, and back in the cover. They've got great on-movement dispersion to allow that. But at the same time, the M60 and M48 Patton are quite easily taken apart once you start to nitpick on their weak spots. They're very large, easy to shoot at the sides, lower plate's massive, and if you get the side of this thing or the rear, yeah, you're just in a payday. This thing is very easy to tear apart. Now, when we take a look at the mobility, yeah, the M60 is not the fastest of vehicles. It has a top speed of 48 kilometers per hour. It's not slow. Its power-to-weight ratio is pretty decent, so it can average 36. I would say it's very comparable to a T62A's top speed, but there are vehicles like the Object 140, the WZ-121 that can go upwards of 56 kilometers per hour, and then you've obviously got the Leopard 1 and the 30B, which can go up to 66. So while the M60 is not necessarily slow, it's definitely the slowest bunch of the mediums right next to the M48 Patton, and you're probably going to have to be a little cautious of light tanks getting in the position before you and possibly outspotting you. Now, one nice thing about all American mediums is they have fantastic view range, which means that at least you'll have a pretty good chance spotting the enemy mediums or even light tanks half the time. M60's biggest advantage over the M48 Patton is its gun depression. The M60 is sitting at 10 degrees of gun depression. The M48 Patton is sitting at 9 degrees. That might not sound like a lot on paper, but that one extra degree can just make your tank that little bit more flexible. You can work a little bit tougher ridge lines, and your upper plate becomes even more angled, making it harder to penetrate. I really like that extra degree of gun depression. It's the main reason why I've always liked the M60 more. The M60 used to actually be a lot more accurate than the M48 Patton, but Wargaming changed that because they buffed the Patton's accuracy. So overall, I would say the M60 is still better than the Patton. I don't know if it's because it's a premium and Wargaming wanted it to be better than the tech tree so people would buy it, but down to the fact that the M60 has the same mobility, but just better armor and a gun that's still, in my opinion, a bit better due to its on-movement dispersion values and aiming time, the M60 is not a bad buy at all, especially if you really like the M48 pattern. But at the same time, I do want to point out that it's not a game changer. There's nothing incredible about this tank that you can't do in an M48 pattern. I think it looks a bit nicer. I like that its front is angled instead of rounded, but that's my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this tank in the comments down below. We're going to have to be waiting in queue for quite a long time, though, judging that it is 3:21 in the morning. This tank came out 20 minutes ago, so, yeah, I guess I'll resume when we get into our first battle. Here we are in our first battle. Took quite a bit of time, but, I mean, we made it, so I'm not going to complain. What do we have on the enemy team? We got a 60 TP, Boss Shotgun 25-ton, IS-7, but we need to look at their mediums. They got a Bat Chat, they got an Object 84, T-54E1, and as well a Leopard 1. We've got a Bat Chat, Object 84, and me, which means we are definitely down on the medium side, so I'm going to be careful. Let me say a hi to this guy. There you go. It's kind of, well, I meant to do a smiley face. I'm playing on mobile, so it's kind of weird to type on mobile while also doing whatever. It's hard to do it. All right, there you go. We got the Leopard 1 spotted over here. We could aim in a shell on him, and there's the 54E1. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what we're going to do, because we are down a tank. Right now, I'm trying to think of just how I can support my team in a way that, well, our object is just taking L's, isn't he? And, of course, we bounce that. Oh boy, that's not good at all. I'm going to try and get out of here while I can. It looks like my Bat Chat is going to be killed, and I will definitely be next. But yeah, that's just Wargaming giving the enemy team more mediums than we have. But their whole team went this way, so I can't really say that it's the matchmaker's fault. We've got an AFK IS-4 not doing anything. Yeah, and an AFK 268 version 4. How fun. This first battle was exciting, wasn't it? Well, let's make our way over here. Maybe we can do something with this IS-7, because there's literally no other chance of dealing damage in this battle. So here we go. Let's get behind this IS-7. Let's get a nice snap in. There you go. Nice tap once. We got the Boss Shotgun off to the side as well, but I could really care less right now. We're going to get another shell into that guy. There you go. Nice. The Bat Chat doesn't look like he's poking us. And it also looks like the 268 has pushed in a bit, which means, there you go, nice tap right into the hatch of the 268. Even if we lose this, I'm going to try and do the best I can in this situation. So here we go, aiming another shell into that 268. Nice tap. Alright, we're up to 1,500 damage so far. I want to get a shell into that 268, but this E75 is perfectly driving in my way. There you go. Got another shell out. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, that's a Bat Chat behind me. That's not very fun at all. Let's get a shell into the Bat Chat. There you have it. And with my Bat Chat rushing this guy, at least he might be able to get a little bit of damage out. Let's load an HE. It missed just by a little bit, but we were still able to clear their Bat Chat. I mean, we're not doing terrible in this situation. It could be much, much worse. But, yeah, this is still probably going to be a loss. Let's aim in a shell onto the roof of that 268. Nice shot, actually. Very surprised that ended up hitting. Let's aim in another shell onto the roof. Oh, that one bounced. That sucks. Our Hori is a one-shot, and over here we got the enemy 60 TP poking. Come on, poke me, dude. There you go. We got one nice shot in, but 60 TP finished off my teammate. We're just about to break 3,000 damage, though, so not bad. But yeah, this team, yeah, not much to say about this team. We had an AFK, and yeah, that's about it. So let's get another shell into this 60 TP. Let's start backing up just in case. Oh wow, we're not dead yet. Let's get we got ripped off. We got completely ripped off there. All right, well that sucks. We still did good though. We did our job, and you can see we did pretty decent for that situation we were stuck in. I mean, this is just Blitz. Nowadays, it doesn't really matter what you do. It's down to what your team does. So we were able to deal 4,000 damage and try to make the best out of that situation. Unfortunately, when you have 3 players do 0 damage, 2 of them tier 10s, yeah, there's not much to say about that. It's really sad to watch your players be AFK from the start of the game, but hey, looks like they're adding that new rating system, so maybe we can do something about it in the future. Yes, here we are, 15 minutes in queue, and finally I am playing in the second battle. Man, I am so glad after this I get to go to sleep. Alright, what does the enemy team have? And what do we have? Alright, they got a 1. We have a 1-2-1, a 50-41 for mediums. They have an M60 and an Object 140 and an Object 84. Alright, well, I always like to push towards B in any type of tank that has gun depression on this map. It's pretty simple. You just push towards B, you get hauled down, and it's a pretty easy win, unless your M103 decides to go across to the other side of the map for some reason unknown to me. But there you go. There's a nice tap already into the Jägerpanzer. Now we just reload. Now we actually were not spotted by that Yag, surprisingly. Is he still there? Yes, he is. And what that means is I can get another tap into the Yag. Unfortunate, it was a bit of a low roll, but you know what? A pen is a pen, as I always like to say. There you go. Nice hat shot onto that Object 140. Now we're going to reload again. Let's aim it on this M60. Oh, that was a bad angle from me. But, oh well. I'm still getting used to mobile. Obviously, I haven't played it crazy amount, so got to get my skill level up there. But let's get a nice bounce on that M60 turret. I was trying to hit him in the hull. Oh well, we're all good. Let's just back up. Let's hope that, I mean, we knew the M103 was going to die. That was just common sense. So that sucks for that guy. But it was also expected. We're going to get a nice snap into that Object 140. We're going to make sure that WZ-113 doesn't surprise me. Going to get one nice shell into his lower plate. And we're going to put on Adrenaline. Alright, let's go for another... I can't tap that 140 yet. I'm just more worried about the 113 than the 140 over here, or the Yag, if I'm going to be completely real with you guys. So let's see if I can push on this 140. There you go. Finished him off, and now I can slip my way down the hill. Here we go. And come towards this Yag. I mean, the Yag is really the only tank that's going to hurt any of us anymore on this side, because it's the only tank here. So all I have to do is hit him once in the cheek, and then we just got to get around and, yeah, say goodbye to the Yag. Nice. Alright, let's make our way back up towards what would be the 113, the 95, and the Object 268 version 4. And we should be able to come out with a win, but not 100% sure here. The only healthy tank we have is me and the 54E1, because you'll notice my E4 and 121 are both one-shots. Unfortunately, looks like they bled a lot of their health. So there's the 268V4 backing up mighty fast. A nice shot into the side. I mean, the 268V4 was one of their healthiest tanks, and he basically bled all of his health, which is completely fine with me. So, trying to figure out what we're going to do here, and it's... what? That was a pretty easy shot, and that just did not want to pen. Well, good news is we have heat shells, and heat will butter through that if it hits the spot we're aiming for. Let's try again. Couple more seconds here. I mean, this is a pretty easy pen. Even if we aim at the lower plate, people say you can't bend the 268. Imagine. Alright, let's reload. Let's aim in a heat shell right on the 95. Our shells are just not going where we want them to right now. Let's try again. There you go. Finally. Got a shell where we wanted it to. A connection as well. Let's aim in right here. Should be a nice pen. There you have it. I mean, you can see we're doing fine. Like, sure, the guns trolled me a little bit, but there you go. We were able to come out with a victory. The only part I would say that I messed up a little bit on was aiming on that M60. I'll have to get used to mobile. Obviously, if you didn't see my community post, for any of you that don't watch the community section too much, if you want to, make sure to click that notification bell. But I'm going to be playing on mobile for the next month to situate myself with mobile and make sure that whatever comp team I play for, I am 100% ready. There's a couple kinks I need to sort out. The really only one I have a problem with right now is snapping shells like on that M60. So as soon as I fix that, and maybe with the new aiming system, I won't have a problem, but I'm going to fix it before the aiming system comes out. Either way, M60 is a fantastic tank. As you can see, we were able to do 3,500 damage in this battle. We were able to win, and I guess it was worth the wait, because at least it wasn't a game like the first one. So the M60 is a really nice tank. It's got hull-down capabilities, it's got great DPM, and while its accuracy is not amazing at .317, like even a 30B has .308, it's not bad, but you will get trolled. You saw a couple of my shells, like a pretty easy shot on that 268 version 4, and it missed. We had a pretty easy shell in that 95, and it missed, so there are occasional shots that this tank will miss, but for the most part, you've got so much DPM that a miss here or there will not change the outcome of the battle. Hopefully, you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Bye-bye!